This is how you fillet a flounder.
This is good stuff.
Razor sharp. Razor sharp.
Explain it, Billy.
Cut a T in it. Right behind the gill, split it right down the lateral line. 2 chunks off top, sweet meat is on the bottom.
Sweet meat's on the bottom?
Yes, sir.
You cut a T on the bottom also?
Yes, sir.
Same thing on both sides. Look at that T going right down it.
The key is a sharp knife.
Absolutely.
It's so sharp that the knife does. People force it, man. It's just natural.
100% agree with that, Billy.
If it ain't sharp, don't. You're gonna cut yourself bad with a dull knife.
I never realized that the sweet meat was on the bottom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is your first time?
Second flounder I've cleaned in 35 years. That's how rare they are.
This is a southern halibut, actually, technically. Southern halibut cleaning.
Yes, sir. Come here, pelicans.
All right, so now we're going to do a trout. This is how you fillet a trout. This is how you fillet a trout. Billy is like going slow.
Here once again, sharp knife. Skin it.
Skin that pig and slice him thick.
Yes, sir. Cut the belly bone out. Always run your finger through there. Make sure she's good. Pull the belly out.
Pull that belly out. Never heard that one. That's a new one on me.
That's what dulls the fillet knife.
Seriously?
That's what dulls it.
Right here, tell me that again. Why do you pull the belly out?
Dulls the fillet knife. It's like cutting into rubber. You can't cut that belly.
Gotcha.
You got to take it. I mean, it's so bad for your knife. Yet it's so easy to just fold it over. Throw up there, buddy.
Folks, I want you to see something here. Before you throw that skin, I want to show them something. This is something I was wondering how a professional was going to do it. And we're always trying to get to the very last, biggest piece of meat we can get. What Billy did right there was Billy left a hunk here to put his finger on once he started the blade. He ran the blade down here, and he's only throwing away a little piece. Just a little tiny piece, but that gives him something to hang on to. Am I correct with that?
That is 100% correct.
Okay.
I got to switch up knives. Hey, let me do one more.
All right. Show us one more, like from the beginning.
And I always take them instead of doing them like this. When you do them right side up the first time, 99% of the time you get that belly in there. It seems like when you flip that fish over, for some reason, and I don't know what it is.
So flip the fish away from you.
Flip the fish upside down. And you don't have to cut it all the way off there, but I do. And then just take that belly.
You were right. Look at that. It was on the bottom, huh?
It's for some reason, and I don't know why that is. But just when you flip that, for some reason, I don't know why it tucks in like that, but it does. When you flip it out, flip that fish over, one incision. You should never have to make. People saw on these fish. You should never have to saw it if your knife is sharpened properly. You should never have to saw on a fish if your knife is sharpened properly. I don't care if you're cleaning a bass, a catfish, or skinning a deer, it does not matter. A sharp knife is exactly what you need to do your job. And we still consider this part of our job. Grab that skin and use the skin as leverage. And it glides right through there. And our pelicans are happy pelicans. And it helps when your fish are ice cold. Always when you're cleaning your fish, it doesn't matter what kind of fish it is, the colder those fish are, the easier it is to run a knife through them. The key is that flexibility. That's a Victorinox knife. It's not a knife that a lot of people are familiar with. It's made in Sweden, and it's the same company that makes the Swiss Army knife. But it's got a lot of bend to it where you can run that knife down the backbone. We're going to pick up a serrated knife. Let's wang on one of these fish whole Hallman caught. Out again. Take that.
Got a redfish now.
Set that back down. Get your sharp knife now that you've gone through the belly bone, just like a trout. Just work it through the. This is really a scale. It's body armor is what that is. You can see how big these scales are on these fish. You've got to use it, in my opinion, you have to use a serrated knife to get through that belly bone to make your cut as precision as possible. Take that, flip it over. We're going to do the other side. And this is redfish on a half shell for those of you who don't have an opportunity to see what happens down here on the coast. It's kind of a delicatessen. Get that cut. But you can see the scales, how thick those scales are, like armor. And for the local treat, this is what they call the captain's fare. That's the throat.
That's phenomenal. Like
the sweetest part of the meat on the redfish, and that's it right there. Take this belly bone out. We're through with this. The coon asses make this, and they take this and make a coubillon. Take that belly bone out, run it all the way down to the skin. That easy. A little bit of Tony Chachere's, a little bit of butter, and a hot coal fire, and that's all you need. Buddy, can I give you a piece of fish instead of you choking on that skin? Huh? Attaboy. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? That was a good try. You're a little young. You can see I keep a knife sharpener right here next to me at all times, because when you get halfway through these fish, most of the time most knives will lose their consistency. Once that knife loses its consistency, take some time. Pick the fillet sharpener up, and it just takes 2 or 3 swipes with it. And a lot of people tend to take this, and they want to take this knife sharpener or hand sharpener, and they want to run it down here like this. That's why it has a handle on it. You take that knife and lay that knife down on your piece of wood or whatever you're using on your cleaning table, and let your knife sharpener do the work. And it only takes 1 or 2 swipes of a good hand knife sharpener, and you can see how we have these teeth in here. When these start to dull a little bit, you can take your screwdriver and open it up and pop it apart, and all you do is flip the stones over, and you've got brand new stones on each side, so you're actually getting double the use out of it. Most people tend to say, well, man, my sharpener was only good for about a month or 2. They don't realize that these 2 pieces interchange with each other, and all you have to do is flip them out, and you'll get another couple months use out of your knife sharpener. Belly's out of the way. And the pelicans are happy. That's a pile of fillets.